Most Americans will never visit Greenland. Most couldn't find it on a map. Yet this week, Greenland may quietly raise prices inside your home, your car parts, your medicine, your electronics. Not because of inflation, not because of a supply shortage, but because of a political standoff thousands of miles away. Here's the uncomfortable truth. President Trump has threatened an additional 10% tariff on imports from 8 European countries: Denmark, Norway, Sweden, France, Germany, the UK, the Netherlands, and Finland, after they opposed the United States taking control of Greenland. That sounds strange, almost surreal. Why punish German factories over a frozen island? Why tax French goods over Arctic politics? But this is exactly how modern power works. Not with soldiers, with spreadsheets. A cargo ship leaves Hamburg, loaded with auto parts, medical equipment, precision tools. Nothing dramatic happens. But by the time those goods reach American ports, they're quietly 10% more expensive. No headline, no sirens, just higher prices. This matters now because tariffs are no longer just about trade, they're about leverage. Greenland is massive, mostly ice, very few people. But underneath that ice are rare earth minerals, energy reserves, and strategic military positioning. As Arctic shipping routes open, Greenland stops being remote and starts being valuable. For years, the US has viewed Greenland less as land and more as a chess square. European leaders pushed back, so the pressure shifted from diplomacy to economics. A tariff is simply a tax on imports, but in reality, it's a message. If you block us politically, your products get more expensive. 10% sounds small until you see the math. A German supplier exporting $1 billion worth of goods suddenly faces $100 million in added costs. That money doesn't disappear. Someone pays it. Sometimes exporters, sometimes importers, almost always consumers. Prices rise quietly, orders slow, factories adjust, jobs vanish without announcements. No emergency speech, just balance sheets turning red. This is why tariffs are politically powerful. They feel invisible. Now multiply this across 8 European economies. German machinery, French luxury goods, British pharmaceuticals, Dutch logistics networks, Scandinavian green technology. These systems are deeply connected to American supply chains. A Swedish component inside a French product assembled in Germany and sold in the US gets taxed multiple times. Here's the part most people miss. A 10% tariff rarely becomes just 10%. Costs stack. Insurance rises, currency hedges shift, financing tightens. 10 quietly becomes 15 or 18, and no one puts that number in a headline. There's irony here. Tariffs are supposed to protect American industry, but modern American products rely on foreign parts. So the tax circles back. American companies pay more, consumers pay more, and politicians call it strength. We've seen this movie before. Previous tariff waves raised costs for US manufacturers by billions. Some passed it on, some cut jobs, some moved production elsewhere. The promise was control, the result was friction. So why use tariffs over Greenland at all? Because Greenland doesn't export much, you can't tariff ice. So pressure moves sideways. Denmark says no. Germany feels it. France reacts. The UK calculates. Norway watches. This is economic pressure without the label. And it works because markets hate uncertainty. Investors pause. Businesses delay decisions. Supply chains freeze. All from a threat. There's a deeper issue hiding underneath. If trade penalties become tools for territorial ambition, then borders are negotiated with prices. That changes everything. Politics reshapes trade instead of the other way around. Other powers are watching closely. If this works here, it will be used again. more often with less hesitation. That's the real danger, not the tariff itself, but normalizing it. There's a quiet absurdity in all of this. A place with more polar bears than people influencing prices in American cities. Globalization doesn't make sense until it suddenly does. So let's separate hype from reality. Tariffs aren't paid by countries, they're paid by people. They don't just punish rivals, they ripple through allies. And once trust breaks in trade, it doesn't repair quickly. We're left with a frozen island, a tariff threat, and a global economic system being asked to carry political weight it was never built for. The math is simple, the consequences are not. Because once prices become weapons, the real question isn't about Greenland, it's about what gets taxed next and why. If you want to understand how power, money, and global systems actually work, beyond headlines and political noise, subscribe to Smart Paisa AI. Because in today's world, the most dangerous moves don't look dramatic, they look like price tags.